Welcome here into Teal the Show. It is a playoff week for the Jaguars. Big one set at the bank as they get ready for playoff football. Hey, look, it's a good week to be a Jaguars fan, right? Look, the bank is going to be packed. It's going to be rocking. Kyle, honestly, game day is getting closer and closer.
Hey, it's a great week to be a Jaguar. Actually, if you would have told me we'd have been here, 13 wins, none of us predicted it. But we got a big one, and I'm just excited to be here.
Yeah, big one on deck. Buffalo Bills coming to town. Josh Allen versus the Jaguars. Josh Hines Allen. I guess good Josh Allen, bad Josh Allen, however it works, you want to look at it. I joked before there can only be one good Josh Allen out on the football field. I don't know if that counts now that he's Josh Hines Allen. But either way, this is a big game, and there's a lot on the line for this one because you win, you keep playing.
Hey, keep the main thing the main thing. We've said it all year. That's what the coach has been saying. And it is a big one, but, the Jaguars, it's a Sunday at 1. The Jaguars are just trying to keep everything right in front of them, not make anything bigger than it is. And we talked to Coach Cohen today, and he's not letting them get in that mindset of this could be the last one and just kind of staying where their feet are.
You don't put yourself there at all. I have not put myself there at all, personally, you just keep trying to do what you've been doing to the best of your ability and then let the results be what they may and go play your asses off on Sunday and for 60 minutes and see what the heck happens.
Got to stay focused. Just let Sunday be Sunday.
That singular mindset, which I feel like they've had, the past 8 games or so, where it's like, this is the game, win this game, and then look forward to the next.
Well, they had to go 1-0 each week because the Texans were breathing down their backs. So they had to keep rolling, and they have kept rolling, so they've kind of been in a little bit of a playoff mind state. Now, this game is a little bit of a throwback because it's a little bit of deja vu. So, everybody talks about how Miles Jack wasn't down back in that 2017 season. Well, the 2017 playoff journey, before they got to New England, right, started against the Buffalo Bills. So flashback a little bit of deja vu. I mean, not quite Calais Campbell back out there making plays. Trevor Lawrence wasn't around as Blake Bortles, but one guy was in Jacksonville was Dawuane Smoot. Dawuane Smoot was with Jacksonville. Now he's with the Jaguars. Actually, spent last year up in Buffalo. So a little bit of all parts of this matchup. He's seen a lot of football.
No, he has. We also talked to him, kind of asked him if there were any similarities between the two teams, and this is what he had to say.
I mean, when it comes to similarities, like the wins, no. This team I feel like we're so much more together. We're so much more of a team. And I feel like this playoffs, we definitely have a big chance to do something special here in Jacksonville for sure. You already know back in 2017, we were like one of them teams that just talk all the time. But this team's a little bit different for sure. And then there's a lot of different people on the other side as well, too, with Buffalo. Now we got to play against Josh Allen. We already know he's a dynamic threat, and James Cook as well, too, so we got to stop him.
That's the name of the game. Stop Josh Allen, stop James Cook, and you probably win the football game. But that's easier said than done.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that people have drawn the similarities. We're playing the Bills at home just like we did in 2017. But, Blake Bortles there's no Blake Bortles slander here. Don't get that wrong. I'm saying just the way that Trevor's playing right now is a complete difference maker compared to that 2017 team. Now, the defenses, this team might not be getting the sacks that Jacksonville was,
sure,
but they did beat that, the interception record. So they are getting the turnovers, and Trevor's playing at a different level. So while there are some similarities, there's also some X factors that weren't there previously.
Hey, who knows? It could work out, and they play another team from that Jacksonville playoff run, too, because it could work out where they play the Steelers. It could work out where they have to go to New England next week. But overall, you got to start with this week and take care of business against the Buffalo Bills. Definitely some similarities between both teams. But overall, the 2025 team is different. You heard Smoot talk about it. And this team is off rolling. The defense is making plays. The offense has been scoring points. And they got to take care of business this week. They can't just rest on history.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, if they do happen to play the Patriots and maybe Trayvon Walker gets a little strip sack and they don't blow the whistle and then he gets in their score, then we'll know that it might be like a Mandela effect or something like that.
The universe is healing itself. The universe is trying to fix what was supposed to be correct then because Miles Jack wasn't down. So we'll see. Hey, maybe it all works out this go around. Only time will tell. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll talk a little bit more about what the Jaguars got to do to get the win at the bank on Sunday. That's coming up right after this quick break when Teal the Show comes back. Welcome back here into Teal, the show. All right, we're winding down on time, but this is a big one for the Jags against the Buffalo Bills. Tough one. When I was kind of looking at the pieces to the playoff puzzle, I think we talked about it here on Teal, the show at some point. This was the matchup that I didn't want for the Jaguars, at least not in the wild card round, because the Bills are a really good football team.
Hey, Jamal, you're right. They got an electric quarterback. Everyone likes to talk about Josh Allen. They also have the best, or one of the best running backs in the game. I think statistically he's got the most yards, so that's something that you might have to go against. But I can definitely see where Josh Allen scares people. I mean, he won the MVP last year, so it's not like he's a bad quarterback. He can definitely scare you.
At any point, Superman could put on his cape. And while Josh Allen is hugely important, I'd say the key for this Jaguars defense is where it goes strength on strength, right? So the Jaguars have the best run-stopping defense in the league, while on the other end, the Bills have the best rushing offense in the league. So it's strength on strength. They have to find a way to slow down James Cook. James Cook is a tough guy to corral. He's easily can slide through cracks and get loose. If the Jaguars can stop James Cook, make Josh Allen have to put that cape on, I think the Jaguars have a really good chance in this thing. And there's one defensive guy that I think is really going to quietly be a key to this football game, and that's Antonio Johnson. So he had a pick 6 last week. The Bills like to use their 2 talented tight ends a whole lot. Antonio Johnson's a pretty big safety who can play down in the box and probably can keep the Jaguars' defense from having to get into some of those base formations, because the Bills try and get you in base, then they try and throw the football. If Antonio Johnson can help them in the run and keep it where they can play that 3 safety set a lot, that'll play into the Jaguars' defense's hands. So I think Antonio Johnson quietly going to be a key to this game.
Okay, hey, Antonio Johnson, he's becoming a Teal of the show favorite around here. We like that. We like that. But all right, that's defense. Let's go offensively. What do you think your X factor on the offense would be?
Got to run the ball. Run the ball. Look, when it gets to playoff time, you pack a good defense and you pack a good run game, and that's how you win football games. Travis Etienne, I expect him to have a pretty big day for the Jags on Sunday. He's been consistently doing it in different assets, but they got to get that running game back to where it was a couple of weeks ago when they were really just rolling through people and handing the rock off. I think while Trevor needs to have himself a day, sure, you need Travis Etienne to kind of go off and chew up some yards. And I think that's what's going to happen. Look, I'll go ahead and get to my pick. Look, I think the Jaguars are going to win. I don't think it's going to be terribly close. I think Jaguars win 28-17. A little bit of breathing room. But I could easily stand here. I was talking to one of our directors before the show. It wouldn't surprise me if the Jaguars just very casually put 30 on the board. This Bills defense is solid, but it's not great. And the Jaguars offense has just been rolling. They've been hot.
I mean, the Jaguars have been hot in general. I like your pick, Jamal. I like the score, a little higher score. You said 30. I'm going to give them 30. I'm going to give them 31, actually. I'm going to say they win 31-28, right?
Okay.
And I know, I mean, my scores mean nothing, but I'm feeling this one. But I'm going with the Jaguars. How could I not go with the Jaguars? If we're going just based on the regular season, they won me the picks this year because I just picked them every time. And you know, I thought they were going to win every time. And you know what? They turned out to win 13 of those, which is, statistically speaking, that's a pretty good percentage on my part. So
you don't have to worry about nothing, Kyle, because we're going to go ahead and add an extra layer to the picks next year to prevent that from happening again.
Oh, okay.
So we'll add a little extra factor in there somehow, some way. Don't you worry. I'm going to come up with something.
But you said run the ball, stop the run. That's the key. But I also think, you know, Steezy Trev, if he keeps playing like that, then there's not a team that can stop him. So I think Trevor Lawrence just keeps on finding himself, finding ways to get the ball to his playmakers, and they're set. That's all they need.
Look, that's fair. Look, if Trevor's cooking, let him do it. But I will say I think you got to run the football, especially against this Bills defense. And you know what? It might not be Trevor cooking with his arm this week either. The Bills are letting quarterbacks average over 6 yards per carry. They're giving up the most yards or rushing yards per carry to a quarterback of any team in the playoffs. So a Trevor anytime touchdown don't sound that bad this week, does it?
No, and I mean, Trevor's hurt him all year with his legs. So I would not be surprised if we saw him run maybe a little more than we're used to. So that's a good call.
We'll keep an eye on it. All right, so big game on Sunday at the bank, and we got some big game coverage all set for you. We've got the road to Cali officially kicking off on Sunday, with some extra coverage coming your way. We will start streaming over on News4JAX.com and in that News4JAX Plus app at 10 a.m. We got 2 hours of coverage for you, counting 2 hours of coverage from 10 to noon. You can catch us right here on Channel 4 from 11:30 to noon, and our post-game coverage will be here on Channel 4 immediately following the game. So all of the, hopefully, victory madness, you'll be able to catch it right here on Channel 4. So if you're out at the game, we'll be over at the slab, tailgating, tealgating, whatever you want to call it. You can come by and say hello. If not, make sure you check us out over on News4JAX.com or in that News4JAX Plus app starting at 10 a.m. Should be a lot of fun.
We got you covered.
We got you covered. Hey, we appreciate you hanging out with us here on Teal the Show. We will be back next week, right? Hey, so we'll be back here next week, Monday and Friday night, 11:20. Come hang out with us, and hopefully we're talking about a victory Monday, so we can be talking about where the Jaguars are going next week, right? So we appreciate you spending some of your Friday night with us here. Good night, everybody, and go Jags.